Today on As Seen on the Radio, I visit a place where a chainsaw does more than what its creators had in mind when they invented the tool. I'm at Hubbart Wood in Hillsboro, where I'll get an up-close look at the artwork Mr. Chris Hubbart creates with only his tools and part of a tree. Right now, I am pleased to be joined by Chris Hubbart, the owner of Hubbart Wood here in Hillsboro. And Chris, the first thing I want to ask you is, how long have you been doing this?
Man, that's a good question. A lot of people ask me that, like how I got started, and really, it's a little bit of a story. But as I was a kid, my father was an artist, and he was also a Vietnam veteran. So I was, unfortunately, I lost my father at an early age. But with that, I watched him as a kid. So I'd get Dremels and wood burners and stuff like that. At 6, 7, 8 years old, I got weird Christmas presents, stuff like that. When I was a teenager, I was working at a campground, Honey Bin Resort. I met a gentleman that was a snowbird that traveled back and forth from down south to here, and he would carve sticks with woodworking tools. And I told him he should use a Dremel. He said, no, that's for you young guys. So I started carving with a Dremel at an early age of like 14, 15, full on making walking sticks for everybody. And then about 4 years ago, I cut down several trees to get internet, and I don't like wasting trees. I actually found God through a tree. It's a long story with that, but I didn't want the trees to go to waste. So none of the local loggers or sawmills wanted to use the trees because there was a house on the 6 acres. So I picked up a chainsaw and I made ourselves a welcome bench, and the rest is history. We've gotten 4 orders since then. So I'm kind of self-taught, school of hard knocks over the last 20, 25 years of doing it. So
How long has the shop been open?
The shop, we're almost to our 1 year anniversary on opening the shop, and it's definitely a unique story, a story that I can't wait to tell in a book or a movie. And we've had a lot of triumphs. I was just a poor kid from Witt, Illinois. I grew up in the streets of Witt, and I didn't have a lot of family money backing, so it's been blood, sweat, and tears the whole way. We couldn't get traditionally financed. Everybody thought I was crazy with, hey, I want to do a chainsaw carving thing right here. When I found out the Lessmans were retiring, I knew this was the perfect spot, and goes with the chainsaws and everything else. So close to a year.
And how important has it been for you to come back and do it in this community? Because this is unique to this area. You could have essentially done it anywhere.
That's actually a really good statement. I'm glad you brought that up. We were told by several people, like, man, you should go to Branson, you should go to Colorado, you should go everywhere but here. And we got so much. I got so much personally. I had a great football coach, Rich Stewart, probably kept me out of prison and death, growing up, and grew up in the Hillsboro community. Witt commuted to Hillsboro from my junior high years on. And I just wanted to repay the county. I wanted something to be here in Hillsboro that people would come and visit at a time. When we opened this building, when we bought it, there was 4 people a minute moving out of Illinois. And don't think we didn't think about those statistics. And but we wanted to stay here. We wanted to make it a local thing. And now we've reached out, and we travel the country now. We're set to go out east to Georgia. We were just out in Washington, Oregon, Colorado, California, and we're going to make another trip out there next year, hopefully all the way up to Alaska. But we're traveling the country, soon to be world. We got some big exciting news coming, but we wanted our home base to be right here in Hillsboro, Illinois, Montgomery County. A lot of great things here. I talked to Matt and his wife, Matt Hughes, of course. As a kid, I grew up watching Matt, and it was just, he proved that anything's possible. You can do anything you want from this small little town, and a country boy can survive,
Sure.
So I love this community, love the town, and wanted to stay here.
Can we take a look around?
Absolutely, yeah. So as you come into Hubbart Wood from the outside, it's going to look a lot different on the inside. A lot of people are blown away when they come in. Either they've seen it before, or just the presence of the big block building right here on Route 16, which, by the way, we're located at 265 Springfield Road, Hillsboro, Illinois. But as you come in, you're going to see it's got a really country feel. It's got a recycled, reclaimed, rustic look. And a lot of the materials, I pride myself on what our company was founded on, really is I started looking at a lot of the other tree trimmers that weren't recycling our local natural resources, which was a big deal to me, because if you look across the board, the ash borers out and killing a lot of our ash trees. The maples aren't sustainable. There's a lot of maple trees that are just rotting and dying, falling on houses. The Dutch elm disease, then the drought killed a lot of our pine trees. So a lot of trees are dying in our area. I'm very proud to say these boards that are hanging right here on this wall are cut locally right here in Hillsboro, dried and put up and used as a reusable resource that otherwise would have been, it's pine. It would have just been garbage. It's not even good firewood. So it would have just been burnt for no good reason at all. Probably most likely in a pile just to get rid of it. Another thing that I wanted to do, we have a 6,000 square foot building here. It's a 60 by 100 building. As you'll see in the video, Dave's caught me from WSMI. He caught me at a little bit of different time. We're putting all new LED lighting. We finally got to the point, we're almost at the year mark with our business, that we are revamping the building. But what I wanted to do was, I wanted to create a showroom for local artists. I wanted to create a place that local people could sell their goods. Like I said, when I was a kid, after my father passed, my mom was a crafter. So a lot of the people that bring in crafts here, we have people that are either retired or looking for a little bit of extra income, and it's all taxable. It's tax revenue for the city, for the state, and it's all going to help them as well and help our business sustain. So we take in crafts like the bench here is a local guy from Coffeen. Eldon Greenwood brings in some really neat crafts. We have the Willow Man all the way out of Jacksonville, Illinois, who brings in the willow chairs, stuff like that. The Teftelers, their metalworks and their signs, just all kinds of local vendors. And if you're looking for a spot, your items do have to be approved, but we do take stuff in on a commission basis and we sell them right out of our storefront. This is part of the community support I was talking about. I'm just so blessed, me and my family, to have the support that we have here in Montgomery County. This is a piece that's not finished as you're watching this video, but this is a pro-life piece for the St. Agnes Catholic Church. They reached out to us to make their piece for the float, and then it'll actually be featured in their church right here in Hillsboro, Illinois. This is a local ash tree, and you can actually see it did have the ash borer in it. So it was a tree that was going to be just cut and burned by any other tree trimmer. Typically would be just wasted. It would be a wasted resource. And here at Hubbart Wood, we use those resources to either carve or turn it into usable materials or boards, supplies for DIY people. So as we were talking about giving back to the community, one of the things we try to do 2 or 3 projects, substantial projects a year, to give back to our local community or help organizations. In the past we've done, like we were with Callan's Crusaders, who help raise money for their autism service dog. And so this is actually a project. You can win this piece. You can buy 1 ticket for 10 or 3 for 20 if you're watching this video in time. But it benefits the Luck and Buck Saddle Club. It'll actually be a bench that we're going to raffle off for them at the end of their horse rodeo. And if you can check it out right here, the schedule for them, all the events. This will be shown at all the Luck and Buck Saddle Club events. So you can make sure you check it out, complete it there, or pick up your ticket online at hubbartwood.com.
Chris isn't the only member of his family involved in this venture. His wife, Brienne, hand draws all the name signs and serves as the resident critic on all of Chris's carvings. But she's also an artist herself, and her work can be seen displayed throughout the store.
I grew up in an artistic family. My dad was a graphic artist, and we would go on road trips, and that's what we got to do in the car was draw. And then going on to school I was in architectural drafting for, I don't know, two, 3 years. And I just enjoy drawing people and animals or anything.
Chris is a master of his craft, and he doesn't just cut down trees at random. His company offers a tree removal service where he's able to find much of his inventory. His shop is easy to find, It's located right off of Route 16 as you're entering or leaving Hillsboro to the west. If you've been through town, you've probably driven by a time or two. Next time you're passing by, be sure to stop in and take a look at the beautiful artwork inside. This is David Jenkins reminding you that you saw it here on the radio first.